All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette just joined as a member. Very cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That was in the YouTube chat, of course. Welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and we are going to dive into all of the amazing worlds of the paranormal as we can in 2 full hours. And it's Friday. Welcome to the weekend. The minion just finished school today. Thank God. Early mornings are not my thing. But, when you're a parent to a young child, you got to get up and do the things. So I've been getting up and doing the things. And now I get a little bit of a hiatus from all that. So he did really good for the record. He got a behavioral award at the end of the year. So chip off the old block. His mom's block, not this one. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, it was wonderful. So we got the summer. We've hit summer break here in the north of Idaho. I know some people have been done with school for weeks already, but we finally made it. And when your youngins starting, we'll still be lounging, hopefully. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. We've got a lot to get to tonight. As always, I pulled up a bunch of stuff. Sheldon will be joining us at some point when he's able to, make his way into his home studio and connect. But we've got, of course, the news coming up. Won't be long. We'll be hitting all that. Oh, damn it. I closed it. I got to open something quick here because I, got to do the announcement stuff as we're heading towards more stuff. But then we got the Discord question of the week tonight as well. So that'll be coming up. And we're going to do more glitches in the Matrix stories. Those have been really interesting and good. I did bring back the Ghost Radar. Just as I said, I'm bringing back the Ghost Radar. This is actually a hat, not a bandana, but yeah, bandana. Is it relevant to anybody? I don't know. I do have bandanas in here, but I don't generally wear them. But anyway, I put it back up because I got some messages and people like, yeah, I missed the Ghost Radar. Let's have that back on there. And the ghost balls. So I turned on the ghost balls back here on the back stand. If they go off, it's anomalous. I'm not saying it's for sure a spirit, but it's an anomalous thing. They're not supposed to go off on their own. Again, they're little cheap things, so maybe, it's plausible that there is an occasional weirdness, just with their construction. But honest to God, they sit around here for hours and hours and days and never do anything. And then suddenly, boom, they'll just go off. It's like, wow, that's unusual. If they went off all the time, it'd be like, there's something glitchy with it or something cheap or whatever. But the fact that they primarily just sit idly unless they're touched or rocked or moved seems to me that they're working just fine. So anyway, just throwing it out there. I did put those things back up passively, so we'll do some passive stuff. Tomorrow I think we're going to dig back into it and see if we can make connections again. So for those of you that missed last Saturday, you missed a hell of a show. We had some weird stuff popping off here. And I'm not exaggerating. It was really very cool. I did a little video that's available on the YouTube. It is called "What You Missed," and I've posted it on social media and on Instagram and stuff. So if you haven't seen last Saturday's show and you want just a few clips of some of the amazing stuff that happened, check out that video short. It's only 2 minutes long. It's not a YouTube short because it's in the wrong format, and I'm not good at that. But I would hope you check it out because it was some really profound activity that I really believe was paranormal in nature. So you can check it out, see what you think. Again, I'm not telling you what to think or what not to think, but to me it was some pretty powerful stuff. So. And that happened right here in the studio. I mean, that's really fantastic. Generally, people go out to locations and stuff, and I was just sitting here doing my show, and boom, we got some really profound things going on. So check out the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to do more of that tomorrow night. on the show live and in person. So hope you'll join us join me. I guess it's just going to be me. I won't have any co-host tomorrow night that I know of. But you're welcome to be here and co-host with me. All of you guys can be my co-host. So that'll be tomorrow night on the show. But I do want to drop a notice about this because time is growing short, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know that there's a bunch of opportunity left. So I want to make sure to talk to you about this. What happened? What did I miss? I saw something else. Bad Boy. Bad Boy joined. Well, fantastic, Bad Boy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that a bunch. So what I want to talk to you about is on June 17th, if you're in the Pacific Northwest area, the inland Northwest, or you can be, love to see you here. What do I mean by here? I mean here at the Spokane Valley Sasquatch Roundup. It's happening in Spokane Valley, Washington State, which is kind of on the Idaho-Washington border, but it's right next to Spokane, Washington. So if you can find Spokane on the map, just go directly east and there's Spokane Valley, and that's where it's going to be. And you can see from this roster, there's going to be some incredible speakers there, some amazingly talented individuals who have really given their lives to this subject matter. First of all, Dr. Jeff Meldrum. I think if you're into Bigfoot, you know Dr. Jeff Meldrum. You've heard him speak. You've seen him on a show or you've read his books, any number of things. But he's actually a professor at Idaho State University and of anthropology, I think is his deal. But he's been an incredibly powerful voice in advocating Bigfoot research and the possibility that these things are out there, which I don't think many of us need convincing, but that's he's going to be there. Cliff Barrickman of Finding Bigfoot and Bigfoot and Beyond with Cliff and Bobo podcast is going to be there. And Cliff, of course, needs no introduction as well. Mr. Ken Gerhard, who's just about one of the most fantastically nice and decent people I've ever met. I mean, just on a personal level. I just like Ken. He's just such a sincere person, but he's incredibly knowledgeable, incredibly well-versed in all cryptozoology. And he has been on several television shows and just a phenomenal guy. He's going to be there. Michael Freeman, son of Paul Freeman, is going to be there. And Paul Freeman was a really well-known Bigfoot researcher. He's passed on now, but he is well known for the Freeman footage, which, in my opinion, is like right up there with the Patterson-Gimlin film as far as profound capture of what appears to be a Bigfoot walking. And he had several casts and had years and years of research, so very cool. And Michael Thompson's going to be there. He's an author out of Alaska who is writing about the Bigfoot phenomena. And Charles Howard Johnson, who's a dear friend of mine, and he's a paranormal investigator as well as a Bigfoot researcher, and he's going to be presenting there as well. So it's going to be an amazing event. Saturday, June 17th, 9 a.m. to 5:30 is general admission, and all these speakers will be presenting, and there will be hourly drawings as well. And there's a VIP dinner to follow, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the same venue. So I'm going to be there. Don's going to be there. Sheldon's going to be there. And it's going to be an amazing event. I do need to tell you that general admission you can buy in advance through the website I'm going to mention, or you can buy it at the door if you can show up. Either way. But VIP, you've got to buy in advance. And those tickets are they're going very, very fast. So I don't know how many are left. But if that's something you're interested in doing, please go to this website, www.exnorthwest.com. Again, www.exnorthwest.com for more information about how to get tickets and pre-purchase. This is a presentation of Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC, and our good friend Mr. Stephen Major is spearheading all of this, and he really does a hell of a job when he puts on conferences. And he's a pretty profound documentarian in his own right on the Bigfoot phenomena, including the search for the Port Chatham hairy man, which is incredible. They were the first people to go up into Port Chatham, Alaska, and look for sign of Bigfoot after this village had been abandoned by the people living there due to some alleged Bigfoot attacks that maimed and tore people apart. So the whole village emptied out. It used to be a fishing cannery area and stuff, and the whole place just ghost town. It's all overgrown and stuff now, but it'll be an excellent event. So I hope you guys can make it. Saturday, June 17th, Spokane Valley, Washington, at the Spokane Valley Event Center. Check it out, www.exnorthwest.com. Hope you guys can make it. It'd be great to meet some of you at least. I know I've heard from a couple people that they're coming, so I'm really excited for that. But if more of you can make it, that'd be wonderful too. So I'll give you a free autograph and pose with a picture. No charge. All right, so that's coming up, folks. Don't miss it. All right, I've been running my gums for a while here about that. So I guess without further ado, we should get to the news. I pulled up a few news articles for your enjoyment, and hopefully enjoy it. If you don't, there might be something wrong with you, or might be something wrong with me. Well, there's definitely something wrong with me. But anyway, let's see what's going on in the news. Very cool. And I didn't realize this, but thank you, bad boy. Appreciate the super chat. Says, I'm a father too. Wait for the applause to die down. He says, I'm a father too, bro. My 8-year-old girl wears me out, but I love her more than anything. Keep rocking, Brent. I love the show. Hey, I love you too, brother. He's Bad Boy's been a long time supporter on YouTube. Always stops in, checks out the episodes, always leaves a comment. So thank you so much for continuing to be a part of what we're doing, and thank you for your kindness and generosity. And then Tracy Benna, woo! She became a member tonight too. That's marvelous. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. It really goes a long way, all of your kindness, and certainly there's ways to support the show that don't cost you a dime, and I can't, like, it's hard for me to ask, for anything, but those options are there for those of you that are able to do it. For those of you that aren't, please don't feel any pressure. It's never about that. I just want you guys to have fun and have a good time here. But if you really want to support the show in ways that won't break your bank, then hit the like button, leave comments on videos you're not watching, and share them to your social media to spread the word. That means the world to me as well. And that's the best kind of endorsement anybody can give, because, when you hear from someone you like, hey, I check out the show, I really like it, that means something to the people that like you. But if I go out there and say, hey, check out my show, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm just another person in a sea of people trying to, bring attention to what they're doing. So when you do that, it goes so far and helps me out a ton. So please, any way you can help is greatly appreciated. Also, if you don't mind, if you're on Instagram, find at Paranormal Portal and follow that. The number, it's all a numbers game. And so, I certainly would like to boost the numbers on all of our social media. TikTok, the same thing. I'm out there. If you go to paranormalportal.net, on the top right-hand side of the screen, all of the social media links that I have currently are there. If you take part in any of those and wouldn't mind following, that would help out a bunch, because it's just all numbers. And of course, I'd love to have you as part of the community in many ways, including the Discord, which we'll get to in the question of the week segment. So welcome to the news desk. I've curated some articles for your enjoyment tonight, and hopefully enjoy them. And we'll see here. The first one coming up, of course, is from one of my favorite sites for paranormal news. It's incredible. And please support these sites. This is unexplained-mysteries.com. They do an incredible job. I can't speak highly enough about this site. Please stop over and check out what they're doing, because there's so much more than I ever could cover that they do on this site, and an incredible array of stories and interesting things. So the first story: villagers in India find that newly laid road is a carpet with asphalt on it. Or wait, maybe this one's better. They unrolled a carpet and just put asphalt on it. Oof. You know, I don't know if they do contracting and bidding, but there's the lowest bidder. That's the lowest bidder. Like, man, we got all these rolls of old carpeting. Let's do a road. All right, let's see what's going on here. Locals took to social media to expose the fact that workers had used little more than a carpet to resurface the roads. Potholes are an aggravating problem pretty much anywhere in the world. Why? Which is why locals in the Indian village of Karjat Hast Pokhari in, oh man, these words, Maharashtra's Jalna district were pleased when officials moved to resurface the area's roads as part of the Prime Minister Rural Roads Scheme. It's a scheme, all right, if they use carpet. Once the work was completed, however, the villagers were dismayed to discover that the workers had simply put down some sort of thin carpet-like material and covered it with a thin layer of asphalt. Footage of several locals lifting up the fake tarmac quickly went viral on social media, and bizarrely, the contractor has since claimed that there's nothing actually shady about the road surfacing at all, and that it's, in fact, a perfectly valid new technique used in Germany. Unsurprisingly, however, the villagers don't appear convinced. I think we got to watch that. For those of you on TFR, iHeart, Tune In, and TalkStream Live, we're just going to see. It's a 2-minute video. I'm going to kill the sound. There they are. They're rolling up the road. They're actually peeling it up with their hands. I think it might have just been painted carpet. It doesn't even seem like there's asphalt on that at all. All there is, he broke off some, but it's like as if somebody spread mayo on a carpet and called it a road. That is absolutely tragic. Villagers claim that the contractor employed a deceitful method to conceal potholes. Yeah, lay a carpet over it. I mean, I've heard of people when they're sweeping, lift up the carpet, just push it onto there, get it later kind of thing. But this is an entire road, for God's sakes. Oh, that's so tragically horrible. Wow. And that guy got paid a bunch to do this. Now, wouldn't it just be shocking if suddenly they find out, yeah, it's a revolutionary new technique, that road will last forever. Oh, no. There you go, folks. That's just about a 10 on the dumb meter. So I don't know what to say about that other than I'm smelling some lawsuits. I don't know about Indian law, how that works, but man, somebody's got to be getting sued over that deal. That is ridiculous. You can grab the edge of the road and roll it up. That's not good. Or you just go roll up the road and give yourself a new driveway. Maybe that's how they can do it. Yeah. Just work the angles, I guess. Jeez. That's creepy. Okay. Well, you don't see that kind of stuff every day, and which is good because that's not the kind of stuff you should see at all. But anyway, let's get to the next article here, and this is from unexplained-mysteries.com as well. And there's a new purse on the line here if you can prove Nessie's real. Because, according to unexplained-mysteries.com, from their creatures, myths, and legends category, $30,000 cash reward offered for evidence of the Loch Ness Monster. 30,000. I'm sure that would be a multi-million-dollar discovery. I don't know what 30,000 is going to do, but anyway, let's see what it says. Businessman Dave Fishwick announced the scheme during a segment on UK television show This Morning. There's arguably no cryptozoological creature as widely known as the Loch Ness Monster, a mystery animal described as a long-necked prehistoric reptile that's said to lurk in the depths of Scotland's famous loch. To date, however, conclusive scientific evidence of its existence has been largely thin on the ground. That's kind of punny. Now, in a renewed bid to remedy the situation, Dave Fishwick, a businessman who's also known as Bank of Dave, That's his business. Has offered $30,000 to anyone who can solve the mystery once and for all. Fishwick is recently was spotted at the opening of a new and improved Loch Ness exhibition center in Drumnadroshitz, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm absolutely brutalizing it. On the 90th anniversary of the first modern sighting of the monster. As we look to open our doors, guests will have the opportunity to learn about the legend and then get to search the famous loch themselves. Armed with further knowledge, he says, said Juliana Delaney of Continuum. We wish everyone luck in their search, and we know we'll be watching the iconic loch ourselves. Of course, if someone did happen to have conclusive evidence of the Loch Ness Monster, it could be argued that they'd be able to sell that information for a lot more than $30,000. Exactly. Still, if it renews interest in solving the mystery, it can only be a good thing. Well, there you go. So, 30 grand or 30 million, I don't know. I'd go for the higher bidder, I think, on that one. But it's, I guess it's cool. It's kind of gimmicky because I think it's how he's promoting his new Loch Ness exhibition center. And who can blame him? Everybody's trying to make a living, so good for him. Good for them, and puts more skin in the game, I guess, either way. But let's get to the next article. We've got one more. Two more with the one I'm pulling up right now, and then one more following. Oh, an ad popped up there. Let's close that because we're not doing ads here. All right, so here's one that's been doing rounds, and I think everybody's heard about it now. If you're into the UFO phenomenon, I'm certainly sure you've heard of it. I did watch a video. I know Wes posted it on Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and I think Tony did as well on the Confessionals, and Lon, I think, did it as well. So it's been doing the rounds everywhere. And this, of course, is coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here in the States, and it's Las Vegas family report aliens in backyard after object crash lands. And honestly, they did call the cops, and I watched a news clip from a news station that's looking into it. And the cops were even weirded out because one of them on body cam caught the object coming down, and it does look like it's trailing some kind of green fire or something as it's going down. But maybe they got it fixed and got the hell out of there. I don't know. But anyway, this does seem to have more credibility than most sightings that come up. And says this bizarre encounter saw the terrified family call 911 to report alleged non-human beings outside of their home. The peculiar series of events took place back on April 30th at around 11:50 p.m. in the evening when the family witnessed an unidentified object crash land on their property. The next thing they knew, two strange entities had appeared within the vicinity of the crash site. There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one is inside, and it has big eyes, and it's looking at us. And it's still there, one of the family members said during a call to 911 dispatch. So there's two subjects in your backyard, the dispatcher asked. Correct, and they're very large, the caller replied. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes, and they have big eyes. Like, I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're human. They're human, but it says, and they're human. They're 100% not human. Intriguingly, several other people also claimed to have seen something in the sky that evening, including a Las Vegas Metro police officer who recorded the object on his body cam. Local news report covering the incident can be viewed below. I'll put a link to this if anybody wants to check out the actual report, but it's actually kind of a long video, so it may be interesting to some of you guys to take a look, because as much and there's the one news anchor up there that's doing the shtick thing, like they saw aliens in the yard, huh? And you can tell he's trying hard to scoff at it and to dismiss it, but the other guy stays pretty on game because he's the one that's been looking into it, and he says, yeah, I mean it's bizarre, but it looks like it might be the real deal. So Josh Owen says, thanks. I just heard about this a few hours ago. Yeah, so you can check out the video below at the bottom part of that article. And let me put it over in TFR just in case anybody's over there. Let's do this. Paste. In case anybody's interested. Because I think it warrants another look at the very least. But it's also pretty peculiar. So you be the judge. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's not real? Maybe. I mean, I did listen to the report, and the people that at the end of the report, the cop is like, if you do see it again, you take care of it yourself. This weirds me out. And this is on his body camera. Like he's having this dialogue with the people, and they're kind of chuckling like, yeah, it's weird, but that is unusual. So this one is not your normal, just weird lights in the sky kind of thing. Apparently people not only saw, but they actually called the police. And, oddly enough, they didn't release the body cam footage of the police officer in the backyard. So I don't know if there were marks in the ground that he was able to witness, or some other proof or evidence of these events happening, but some of the video is not released to the public. So what does that mean? That's kind of the big thing to me. It's like, yeah, somebody came in and said, do not show that. Do not show that. And so they didn't. But it's, to me, it's kind of convincing. At least it seems not your average, sighting report. Okay. So let's get to the last article. And this one's kind of coming up, due to other UFO news. Apparently there was an intelligence insider who, said that we have recovered crashed objects from other worlds. And he came out as a whistleblower and spoke to Congress. And I guess they're going to have hearings now, because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, U.S. House of Representatives to hold a hearing on whistleblowers' UFO claims. So they're going to have a hearing about it. Government officials will look more closely at claims of non-human vehicles by whistleblower David Charles Grush. Earlier this week, Grush, who previously worked with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, had held top-level clearance at the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, made the startling claim that the U.S. government had long been in possession of intact and partially intact vehicles of non-human origin, sparking a renewed interest in the full UFO disclosure. Now, in response to his allegations, the U.S. House of Representatives is planning to hold a formal hearing in an effort to investigate whether or not there is any truth to these claims. Grush had claimed that the information regarding these vehicles was being deliberately withheld from Congress, which, if true, would make this a matter of double concern for government officials. Yeah, but they all know that. I can't believe that. What? They're not telling us stuff? They know that. There will be oversight of that, said James Comer, Republican chair of the House Oversight Committee. We plan on having a hearing. As things stand, a specific date for the hearing has yet to be determined, but it is expected that something will be announced within the next few weeks. What we do know is that the Oversight Committee investigation will be headed up by Republicans Tim Burchett and Anna Paulina Luna. Congressman Burchett's office is working through logistics, including a witness list of the most credible witnesses and sources who would be able to speak openly at an unclassified hearing, said the spokesman. Well, there you go. Maybe there will be something come. I mean, do you ever really hold your breath for, I don't know. I mean, these are hearings I would definitely watch as much as I could just because, but I don't know. I don't believe it's going to be any earth-shattering thing. It's going to kind of fall away somehow. It all seems to, and that's the unfortunate part, because I think we have a right to know. We have a right to know. And again, I don't think there's a lot of us here listening to the sound of my voice that are holding our breath for official disclosure. I think there's been disclosure of a kind up to this point. I think that's, there's enough evidence to substantiate that, yeah, there's a lot going on here we don't know. And these vehicles do things that we can't do. Is it some other program doing it? Maybe, but not all of it. Some of it's got to be coming from other intelligences, in my opinion. So anyway, we'll find out. Again, there's no date for this hearing as of this time, so we'll see. If I learn any more, I'll be sure to bring it up on the news for your enjoyment as well and for your information, because this is a subject I think we're all pretty passionate about. So anyway, this is going to wrap up the news, folks. Let's get back to the rest of the show. Most trusted news, folks. So hopefully you found that to be trustworthy. I mean, I can't take a lot of credit for it. I just find these things and read them to you. But, I think it's pretty interesting stuff. So what do you guys think? Do we need official disclosure? Do we not need it? What do you think? You have to let me know in the comments, because I just don't think we do. I think the cat's already out of the bag. There's other governments that have already pretty much come perfectly clean or pretty clean about their knowledge of this stuff. And then there are those of us who have experiences ourselves. So I don't need a government body to tell me, hey, this is real. I've seen it. I know it's real. My trumpet drink. Oh, I'm kind of a dick, aren't I? Sorry. I don't mean to be a jerk.
Camel.
What did that say? Camel. Took a drink of water. Camel. Hump. Maybe that was the joke. Is the ghost radar getting a sense of humor? Oh, you drink much more of that, you're gonna get a lump on your back. Maybe. That's what I would say. I don't know. Camels in water. Maybe there's relevance. You be the judge. I don't know. Sometimes the ghost radar seems to have absolutely no relevance to anything at all. Just like, taco. It's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense to anything we're talking about. But then sometimes there's a vague relevance, and sometimes every once in a while you get a real ringer. It's like, wow. Like, again, I was going to go use the loo and it's a zipper. It's like, yeah, that was definitely a part of the process. That's weird. So do you think the ghost radar is really spitting out some insight here, or do you think it's just some random stuff getting churned out? You be the drink water like a camel. Yeah, exactly, bad boy. That's what I'm saying. Is that where it's going? You have to keep coming at it, spirit ghost radar. If you got more to say, we'd love to hear it. And to any spirits that happen to be hanging out, enjoying the show as well, you can light the balls back there. These little balls sitting here on the stand behind me. If you touch them or cause them to move in it at all, they should flash lights and let us know you're here. It's just another opportunity. So we'll see if they flash at all tonight. If you see them flash, please let me know, because they're behind me and I can't sit and watch my own camera. I reference it quite a bit, but I'm not looking at it consistently. So if you see the balls flashing, let me know in the chat. It could happen at any moment. We just don't know. Gifted 5 Paranormal Portal memberships? Seriously? Wow, dude. Bringing the love tonight, brother. Bringing the love. Rick was gifted a membership by the Bad Boy channel. Very cool. Thanks, Bad Boy. That's phenomenal. That's very, very, very kind. Wow. Well, there you go, Rick. Hope you enjoy your membership. Bad Boy to thank for it. That's really cool. All right, so we now go to a segment of the show which all of you, I'm sure, are pretty familiar with. If you've watched the live shows at all, you've seen this. And if you watch the replays, you've also seen it. But what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a newer segment that we've been doing on the shows here that I have a lot of fun with, because it gives me an insight into what you guys think. And that to me is gold, because, I'm talking to you guys all the time. But this is a way for you guys to weigh in. Let me put a link in the chat, because this has to do with our Discord channel, and the Paranormal Portal has a Discord channel, if you're not already familiar with it. Bad Boy gifted a few times. So kind of him. Yeah, no kidding, K-Love. That's really awesome. Grumpy Owl, you just got a membership from the Bad Boy channel. Welcome, all you new members. I got to really edit that end screen now. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much. It's just so appreciated. But if you want to become part of the Discord, here's how you do it. Join the Discord. And we'll do https://discord.gg/paranormal portal. And that's how you join. And I'll pin this to the top of the chat. If any of you want to become part of our Discord channel, love to have you there. Oops, I right-clicked it. Sorry. And we have K-Love to thank for the opportunity to have a static channel name, because before we get these temporary ones that come free, but if you elevate the server monetarily, you can actually secure a static permanent URL. So thank you, K-Love, for that. And thank you all. I mean, God, you guys are amazing. Look at all the green in our chat now. That is just incredible. Wow, I wasn't even chatting. Well, there you are. There you are. Grumpy old. Yep. There you go. Okay. So. Sorry, I had to snort. All right. Here we go. We're going to get into the next segment of the show, which is the Discord question of the week, folks. Let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Discord question of the week. And this, of course, is our Discord server here. And as you'll see on the screen, there's all these chat threads over on the sides. And you guys have been busy, really, really busy posting stuff. And thank you so much, because it's been a lot of fun. I went in and checked out a video today, and it was interesting. And here's the thing. Obviously, everything we post is not going to be absolutely legitimate. But even if it surfaces that what was posted isn't legit, it gives us a chance to talk about it. And I love checking out all paranormal videos, and I love looking at them critically, because I think it's important always to look at stuff that is presented as evidence, as to scrutinize it with as much, try to debunk it with as much logic as you can. And it was an interesting video. At first take, it was like, wow, that's really very possibly powerful. But then I looked into the person's channel and found some red flags to me, and then other videos. And it's like, wait a minute, this is so much activity going on. It's all so physical and having to do with, the house electronics being manipulated, doors slamming, opening and closing, shadowy apparitions. It's like, wait, this is just so much. Generally speaking, in 99.9% of all haunting situations, the activity is not Hollywood. You get a lot of activity going on, and there's things like usually noises and maybe disembodied voices, shadows moving out of the corner of your eye. Generally, you don't usually see them directly, but they do happen. Shadow people are observed, obviously, but or doors opening and closing can happen. It's generally a pretty extraordinarily rare kind of activity, but this person had so much of it. So it gives us a chance to look at those things critically and look at their body of work. Sheldon, are you there?
Yes.
I thought I heard you. I heard something. I was like, wait, I know that. So anyway, keep posting everything you find. It's not like everything has to be absolutely real and factual, because all of this material is great to talk about, even if it's stuff that you're like, I don't know if it's real, but I'm going to post it and see what people say. And it gives us a chance to talk about it, because I think we got to look at stuff critically. Don't you agree, Sheldon?
Absolutely. Otherwise, we are an echo chamber of unchanging minds at all.
Nobody wants an echo chamber, right?
Yep.
That's funny. I just used that word not long ago there, I'm going to put you up on screen. There you are. You're here now. Let's go to this because you're actually got to be on screen. So we're going to do the Discord question of the week now, and this is my opportunity to ask you guys some kind of paranormal question, whether it has to do with ghosts, UFOs, cryptozoology, or strange phenomena, and just to see what you guys think. So we're going to do that now, and then afterwards we'll do shout-outs. So if you want to shout out, definitely type something in the chat because it populates our list, and we can then do shout-outs from it. But Sheldon, you got the Discord open?
I sure do.
All right. Do you want to take it?
I sure can.
Okay. All right. It's all yours.
So, question of the week, Friday show. This coming in from Android Paranormal. Thank you so much for the suggestion. All right. It is believed that ghostly presences can be trapped or stuck in a specific location. Do you believe this is due to a choice by the ghost, or are there other factors at work that could be holding ghosts to a specific location? Very good question, Android. Thank you for the suggestion. First up is Terrence saying, when I was going through my homicidal, suicidal, maniac paranoid, I pinned my hopes on the First Nations idea that torturing people to death could stick their souls for a while, but Elephant. Okay.
I don't know what happened to you. You just went out, and then you said but, and then it was just dead. Alafino?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
What did you last hear?
I heard you read their soul torture or stick their souls for a while, and then it said but, and then it was just boom, nothing.
Oh, but Elefino.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure what Elefino means either, though. Do you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm stumped by that one, actually.
All right. I'm not sure, Terrence.
Yeah, not sure, Terrence, but thank you for the comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up is Buzzachino saying, what if karma is an energy that, if unbalanced by bad choices, keeps us here as penance until the energy is dissipated?
Oh, that's a good take.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a very interesting take. Huh. So
wow.
That does make sense, because if you're living out of balance and then your journey ends, can you transition at that point if you're all skewed, and do you have to stick around until you can balance that energy out? Maybe that's a really interesting take. Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
Oh man. This is why I love Discord Question of the Week. You guys bring up a bunch of great perspectives.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Bertacuda saying, I heard a couple of different things about this. The land or person/people could have been cursed to be trapped here, trapped there forever, and can't move on. Local legend here. Or that the building itself is some kind of Faraday cage keeping them in the building. Old copper pipes and wires and bricks that have tiny bits of quartz crystal baked in them. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it is by the ghost choice between that where they were last happy. Who knows?
Yeah. I think that's a great take. It could even be unwilling. Like maybe they didn't want to be, but they were stuck by some other action by some other people. Huh.
Now, just for clarification for those out there, definitely not me. What's a Faraday cage?
Well, it's like it protects everything. Like if it's a wire enclosure that's grounded to the earth. So it's like sitting in like a bird cage, so to speak, if that was grounded in the earth. Or people make Faraday cages out of like aluminum screening and stuff, or brass screening or whatever, and then they ground it to the earth. And essentially, if you have a cell phone, you won't have any signal. It'll just flat line, even if you're in a place where you usually have full bars. So it stops radio waves. It stops cell phone. It stops electricity. It just basically grounds everything out so that it's like a wall from energy to either come or go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's actually really cool. Interesting.
Yeah. And a lot of people build, like if you're into survival kind of stuff, or doomsday idealism about worrying about EMP pulses and stuff, wrecking electronics. Some people build a Faraday cage and put electronic items in there so that if somehow there was like a nuclear, launch and they detonated it in the atmosphere, that would release an EMP pulse that would wipe out car engines, like your alternators and stuff, kind of like War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Those things kind of boom, boom, and then nobody's car would work, their phones didn't work, that kind of stuff. So it would be a protection against such things. Okay.
Not a bad idea to get one set up. You never know.
You never know. Yeah. All right. Very cool.
All right. So K-Love coming in saying could be an energy or portal holding the spirit in place. So basically like outside of their influence.
Sure. And it could be natural. I mean, it could just be a natural thing like convergence of ley lines or something creating a portal, or it could be something more intentional. But anyway, yeah. Good point.
I guess my thought on that, I mean, maybe someone will explain it later, but just to say it now, I wonder if people's, the kind of their own energy, their own intentions and whatnot can hold a spirit in place to a specific location, unable to go anywhere else. That's what I'm curious about.
To another spirit, you mean like a person's intention? Holding another spirit? Yeah, I mean, that would be basically a spell or a curse. I mean, you hear these words and they have all these ramifications of weirdness, but essentially energy follows intention. So if you intend to hold someone, that energy will follow the intention. Can't say it's always going to be successful, but
But even on top of that, like spirits that have apparently been there for even hundreds of years. So like I wonder if someone's intention can hold them in place even after that person passes. I'm just I just wonder about that.
Right. No, I suppose it's possible if the person was energetically powerful enough, so to speak. But, I don't know. I still think there's always, that's nothing is concrete. Those things can be broken. But yeah, I think it's possible. Sure.
Okay.
All right. Continue on.
All right. Next up is Comet Man. Oh my God.
That's Lewis.
That or demonic, keeping them hostage, summoned or conjured by people. Sometimes it's the sudden death or something very traumatic that keeps them attached, even bad history.
Sure.
Well, yeah, kind of like you can be held by your own issues that caused you to become lost during your lifetime.
Sure.
Right?
Or battlefields, where there's something so horrible was going on. Think of Gettysburg. It's one of the most haunted locations in the United States because of all of the tragedy and horror that happened there during the war. So,
yeah, I can imagine that. That was at a time where war was like two people standing in two straight rows, just getting
two
shot.
armies facing each other. Yeah.
Yeah, they're facing each other, not behind cover. They're just standing there. You know?
Yeah. Although the Civil War was more guerrilla-like. It wasn't the Revolutionary War was very much like that, where they just make rows and line one would fire their muskets, and then line two would fire, and it was just stay there and see who gets hit. It's like, God, I don't know. It takes a special kind of person to stand there looking down a barrel of somebody's gun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue on.
Yep. Okay, but Chucky Danger coming in now, saying emotional attachment could bind a ghost to a location either to watch over loved ones or to seek justice for a wrongful death. Artifacts could bind spirits through rituals.
Yes.
I've even heard of bottle trees, which work as a trap for wandering spirits. I feel like there is a plethora of different reasons for an attachment to location or object. I do agree with that there's a plethora. Yeah.
I'm interested about that bottle tree thing because I find that interesting. There's certain I don't know if it's a Cajun thing or an Appalachian thing or whatever, but there's certain customs where you could theoretically trap a spirit. Like if you have a bad spirit and it's going crazy and you take a jar, you put a candle in it and then you light it. And apparently that's supposed to attract a spirit. And whether the flame changes and you know that it's there or whatever, then you cover it and screw on the lid and it's allegedly traps a spirit. There's many ideas about how to quote unquote trap a spirit or to seal a spirit. Some of them are more occult. And by occult, I don't mean dark and horrible. I just mean occult just means hidden or secretive. But there's, esoteric practices that utilize rituals and symbols to utilize and to accomplish things. So, yeah, that's a great take. But I think he's right. I think the other part of it is that, maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe they're not stuck in a bad way. They're just there because that meant so much to them, or someone meant so much to them. The memories meant so much, or they loved someplace so much that they just choose to stick around and keep an eye on it, like it was that important to them. And it's not always a horrible, sad thing. It's just that's a place where they had a lot of joy. So good take.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Next up, Opal
Demetria. Yep.
Yes. There's a lady I follow on YouTube named Shifra.
Okay.
Who is a sensitive, and she's talked about ghosts that didn't or want to cross over because they were afraid of being cast down to that hot, torturous place.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable why some choose to stay, but she has helped them by letting them know that isn't the case. I'm sure others have different reasons for sticking around, I guess. It varies. And time seems to work differently there. Also, she's had an NDE before and remembers a past life and what happened after that life ended. Knowledge she used to help those souls cross over. Mm-hmm. She's shared a few of her experiences and wisdom attained over the years. I look up to her as an elder.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I must be. I'll have to look that up. Its name's Shifra. Okay.
Sil F-R-A. Okay.
Yeah, sounds like an interesting channel. I have not heard of it, but that's really wonderful.
I'm going to mark it so I remember. Okay. All right. Next up, Rachel 101 saying, I think a ghost could be attached to location through emotional bonds, with the subconscious being laid bare as a connection twin to the consciousness. Mm-hmm. It could be powerful threads that a ghost, without any intention of staying earthbound, is earthbound. An emotional attachment to a place, so strong it overwhelms the desire to move on to the next place.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, kind of like exactly kind of like you were saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a tragic story. It could just be a love for an area, a love for a person, even that type of thing.
Yep. I think that's very true.
Yes. Very good, Rachel. Very good. Next up, Android Paranormal saying, this is a super hard question. I asked it mainly because I'm genuinely not sure what to think on this topic. Mm-hmm. What I do know is that there are multiple credible instances of a ghost remaining at the same place for a very long time, even decades or centuries. For example, Civil War ghosts. There's also some incredible EVPs that have been recorded voices saying that they were stuck or could not leave. Mm-hmm. So it seems we have voice confirmation of this being something that really occurs. On the other hand, there's multiple credible instances of a ghost being seen across a huge piece of property or seen at two totally different locations. So I definitely believe a ghost can get stuck, but I just don't understand why some are stuck and some are not. Mm-hmm. The only thing I can think of that would physically restrict them from moving to other locations is maybe emotion. However, I do not believe in a sense that their emotion makes them depressed and not want to leave. If that was the reason, I would imagine they would say they don't want to leave on the EVP instead of saying they're stuck or saying that they're unable to leave. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe the more negative, sad emotions you carry over to the other side, then the more it physically weighs them down and restricts their movement, like a ball and chain on your ankles or weight on your shoulders. Maybe this is like a universal law to keep the balance on the higher dimensions, aka heaven.
Sure. That's a good take.
To prevent people full of bad emotion from crossing over until they have shed those negative emotions. Ooh.
Yeah, great point.
Oh, more depth. I love it. Yes. Wow. Yeah, God, I love these. Android says, continues on saying, for the record, I did not read any previous answers before answering, so I had no idea Buzzacchino said something very similar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all if we several of us have a very similar take, because I mean, we're all pretty much on the same page, I think. You know, and everybody's saying a lot of the same things in their own way, but that's the beauty of this. And that's also the strength of this topic, because it gives us a chance to, you know, look at things from different perspectives and even shared perspectives. That's wonderful.
Yeah, no kidding. Coming up next is Karen Alb.
That's
saying I answer.
Okay, I've never heard from Karen before, but thank you so much. I'm glad you're weighed in. I don't think I've heard an answer from her before, so I'm glad she's participating.
Oh, well, welcome in, Karen. Good to see you're answering. Karen Alb, I answered on the wrong part. I think it can be by choice if it is something of importance to them, or they had a deep love for. They also could be stuck and not know they are not living any longer.
Sure.
Or can't let go for some reason. I didn't look at the answers before answering this either. It seems we are mostly on the same sort of wavelength.
Yeah.
Concerning emotional attachment. And I was thinking the same thing, like that.
Yeah.
The answers that are consistent here with everyone is in a strong emotional attachment of some sort. Yes.
Yeah. So
what do you think? What is your thoughts on it, though?
I agree. I think you guys I think we're all on the same page in a large part. I have a different theory as well, though. I think that it's possible that some of these stuck spirits are not fully realized personalities. In other words, I think there are things that can happen in our lives and possibly in our passing. Like, okay, in a nutshell, I believe that all people have a divine spark. And that divine spark will return to the divine. I mean, it's the nature of that energy. It's neither created nor destroyed. It changes form. Well, it's imbued in us and possibly is the strong part of our consciousness. But if you live a life out of balance, you're not really aligned with that divine spark. And so perhaps because we all know people in the course of our life that are like, how is this person so angry, so hateful? How can they be so fragmented just from what we consider decent and normal? And that's not to say there isn't things in life to make people angry. I'm not criticizing that. But I mean, people that are just go out of their way to be jerks and they just as soon hit you as look at you, that kind of person. It's just so far removed from that pure, decent, innocent part of us. And so I wondered if upon passing, and this is just a theory, take it or leave it, discard it if it's just ridiculous, but what if upon passing, the divine part of us returns to the divine? But the other corrupted, maybe darker parts of us can't. They can't go to that higher frequency. And so it creates this pieces, these parts that were once a part of a whole person. And so, is that some of these really dark, horrible hauntings is just all that anger and resentment of a person's life just balled up in this one piece of energy, this one piece of conscious energy that kind of coalesces on itself and develops an intelligence of its own, or develops as an entity, but it's not the person themselves. It's just the pieces that couldn't go, like they couldn't transition. So I don't know. And again, there's a term that I've heard. I heard it on a movie, but it's
1773.
1773. Okay. Thank you, Ghost Radar. But is it possible that and I'll tell you, this isn't unique to me. I don't think that it's unique to me. I heard Amy Allen on the Dead Files talk about it when she was at the who's Lizzie Borden. She went to the Lizzie Borden house, and she talked about this ooze. It was like an intelligence though, but it was just like this dark ooze, and she felt that it was perhaps the same thing, like the parts of her that were all corrupted and horrible were what remained and haunted the place. So I don't know. I mean, again, it's just a theory, but I think there's something to that. That's, and it almost not to use this as a direct reference, but it is kind of interesting, the whole Horcrux thing, the cracking of a soul, the splitting of a soul into pieces. And that's kind of what I think of these things. Maybe it is something like that. Yeah. Ichor.
Yeah, and
Ichor. Bertie Kuda says it's called Ichor. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic. But I think there's something to that with some of this stuff. I do think it's all of the above, but maybe some of the really darker, horrible stuff could be these pieces. Now there's other things that were never human that I think are very low vibrational and perhaps angry for whatever reasons. They might have been nature spirits that watched the sacred place that they were, was their home, get turned into a parking lot or something, and that just pisses them off or whatever. These are just ideas. But the theory sounds very plausible, Android says. Think of it like this. From a physics point of view, if you put a bunch of hot air and cold air in a bottle, what will happen first? The two separate. Hot air rises, cold air sinks. So maybe the negative energy and positive energy naturally separate when not contained in a body. Yeah. And I think the manner of consciousness probably has to do with how much the person aligned with their divine self or how much they aligned with the not divine self. So maybe if a person was a horrible person, well, the divine spark goes home because it has to. I mean, it just, it's the way it works. But maybe the parts that aren't divine have to stick around, and maybe it's because it has to sort through it until it can raise its vibration. I'm not saying it's eternal, but just things to think about. And again, I don't pretend to know for sure. It's just kind of a theory that I came up with years and years and years ago. But, am I right? I don't know. I couldn't. It's untestable.
Well, and maybe even on top of that, maybe like how much you hold on to that pain.
Oh, sure.
Determines how active it remains here with us.
Good point.
Like if it's just a little bit of residual energy, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But if your whole life you just build it and build it and build it and you're just full of pain by the end and you leave, then it's this fully formed what would you say, apparition even.
Or personality, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, I think everybody had phenomenal takes. Thank you so much for weighing in on this. And, all ideas are welcome because none of us know. Nobody knows the answers. But it's all things we can think about and throw ideas around. And maybe we're right. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're part right. Who knows? But I do find it amazing that, again, everybody was pretty much on the same page. So,
yeah. Rachel coming in saying, it seems like the paranormal is like dipping a cup into a pond. There's many different creatures in the water, each with its own unique existence. So many different phenomena with its own existence.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. And granted, we use terms like ghosts pretty universally to mean everything that is in our world that's not physical. Like we can't see it usually or interact directly with it, but it's around. We see its effects on the environment around us. There could be hundreds of different things that exist to us as a spirit kind of body, but may be completely different things. That's a great point. We just don't know.
Yeah, you may call this a ghost, and that's a revenant, and then this one over here is an actual ghost. Exactly.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep. So, what?
Yes. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to thank everybody for their participation. Did you have anything to add to this before we're done?
Nope, that was it. Let's thank everyone. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming in, giving your opinions, shedding light even in our minds on like these different perspectives and how these things might work. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think we all learn from each other, right? So, and this gives me more of an opportunity to learn from you guys, because I'm usually talking. I'm usually filling the void, so to speak. So it's great to hear your reflections on this stuff and great takes, everybody. Thank you so much. So this will conclude the question of the week for Friday night. Watch for Saturday's question after the show sometime. I'll post it tonight. Yep. All right, so let's get back to it. I got to run the recording here. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. Woo!
Appreciate it. I want someone say ball and chain. I'm not even sure what that's referring to, but
The wife?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that part. I just didn't know.
Oh.
Was there a conversation
Oh.
going on about marriage or something?
Oh, man, my bad. I see.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand the old ball and chain.
Oh,
I just didn't
okay.
know what it meant here. Didn't know if some people were talking about relationships or something.
Oh, did you? By the way, before we move on quite yet,
Okay.
did you see the video I sent you
When did you send me a video?
last night?
Nope. I can tell you I didn't. Where'd you send it?
It is breaking news, and it was actually posted in the UFO in the Discord as well.
Is it Las Vegas?
Yes.
Oh, we covered it on the news tonight. Okay.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah,
Yep.
it was really cool. Yeah.
The seeing two figures, right?
Well,
in the backyard.
The ship that came down and apparently figures all over the backyard, right?
Yeah, two of them. And that wasn't all over the backyard, but it was two figures, 8, 9, 10 feet tall, look like big eyes, big mouth. Yeah. Yep. They saw them. The whole family saw these things. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty interesting story. So, no, I didn't see your video, but we did cover it. Yeah, in Las
Okay,
Vegas.
good.
Yep, Nathan.
Good.
We're talking about the one in Vegas. Yep. Sorry, guys. I'm on a painkillers. Had amp. Fuck me. Oh, fall. Oh, man. I hope you're okay.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's no good. Hope
Feel
you're-
better, RJ. Feel better. My
Yeah,
God.
please. Yep. Watch out for those amps. I don't know what kind of amp you got, but if it's I think you're talking about a guitar amp. Is that right? They can be huge.
Ugh.
I don't have a huge one. I just got a Marshall two speaker one. It's
That's
nice.
not the right way to amp up your weekend.
Oh, you didn't.
I'm so sorry, RJ. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm so
Sheldon,
sorry. I wish you the best. I hope you heal.
You twisted soul. All right. Just make a pun off of somebody's pain.
I'm so sorry.
Like this. There were some videos or some pictures that were going around on the internet a while ago, and they're showing images of people that have abnormally long necks, and people were making neck jokes like crazy. It's like, oh man, how brutal is that?
Oh no.
See you next time, like NECKS.
Next time.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just hey, comedy heals. So I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm helping.
Laughter is healing. So there you go.
The thing I wanted to add with the Las Vegas thing, though, before we move on, is the thing I thought was very interesting was it doesn't sound like the little grays because they were 8-9 feet tall,
Sure.
but they were like greenish grays, so they sounded like they were grays, but they're extremely tall. So what's with that?
The little grays are kind of considered like the drones, but there's many stories of them being ruled or supervised by these really tall grays. And by tall, I mean like really tall, like in this description. But hell, I don't know. I don't know what they saw for sure, but it's pretty interesting. But tall grays are not a new phenomenon. It's a very old claim as well.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Well,
Yep.
the more you know. There
The
we go.
more you know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's
All
true.
right. At least that's what I've heard. So thank you for everybody for participating in the question of the week. I appreciate it. It's always wonderful to get your takes. It's been Eliza's been a member. Eliza's been a member for 11 months. Mom's let me know. 11 months, Eliza. Woo!
Oh, why is it?
Whoops.
It's almost your 1 year anniversary.
Yeah. I guess July will be a year. I guess maybe that's right. Maybe that's when I first did the memberships was a year ago in July. Huh.
Oh.
Well, very cool. Eliza's been in there from the start. Thank you, Eliza.
So Liza are first?
I don't know. I think the first might have been the fourth color, but I mean, there was a group of people that joined in right away. But tonight, Sheldon, you missed it. But Bad Boy came in and gifted 5 memberships. So you can come in and buy memberships that are gifted to random chatters. And he bought 5 memberships and made a donation and became a member himself. So,
oh my God, Bad Boy.
Yeah, and we had a couple join as well right off the bat. It's just been membership night here. It's like I feel like I'm doing a telethon. Operators are standing by. Join now. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Bad Boy, and welcome to whoever you got gifted. It's not a sub. This isn't Twitch. Gifted a
membership.
Membership. Yeah, there we go.
Same idea.
Yeah.
So very cool. But thank you. Look at all the green in the chat now. Jeanette became a member.
Oh my God.
Woo, Bad Boy.
Bad Boy.
Man, you're lighting it up tonight, brother. It's going to be all green here pretty quick. It's going to be all green. He gifted 15? Oh my God, dude.
God.
Whoa. 20
now.
20 now. Dude, thank you. That's incredible. I mean, we're gonna have a green and blue chat in here pretty quick.
Yeah. Don't break the bank.
I know. We're gonna be like the most popular channel on YouTube. Thank you. That's really cool. All right. That's amazing. Thank you. Artemis River Freeman. So we're gonna do shout outs quick. Sheldon, you want to do shout outs?
Oh.
So if you want,
you guys want to oh yeah, go ahead.
If you want to have a shout out, just say something in the chat, because that'll put your name on our participants list. If you're just hanging out, want to keep hanging out, that's fine. Said she signed up but never turned green. Karen Alberding, you never turned green? Oh,
she's not green.
Why isn't she green? Huh? I don't know.
Maybe it takes a bit. Maybe there's a little lag. You never know.
I don't know either. I thought Karen. Yeah, last year. Yeah, I signed up but never turned green last year. I'll look into that, Karen. Let me.
It's green right now.
It is? What?
It's literally green right now.
It just happened.
Yeah, it just happened.
Oh, because she was gifted a membership from Bad Boy. Well, that's weird. Okay, well, I will look into that though. Yeah, it's very weird. Karen Albertine. All right, I'll look into that. I'm making a note to look through the YouTube.
We will avenge you, Karen.
But she's green now.
All right. Okay, so shout outs. Let's see who's here. So first off, we have Android Paranormal, Artemis River Freeman, of course, Bad Boy Channel, Batman, Bertacuda 1978, Chucky Danger, Elaine Clifford, Grumpy Owl, Lezu Reloaded, Isaac Areola, Jeanette, John Stevenson, John Temprine, Justin Goodearth, Justin Foe Arsonist, K-Love, Karen Alberding with the green, Maggie M10, Nathan Nate, Ninja Dave 1970, You're Here, RJ Windwalker's here, heal fast, Rachel Gets It Right, Red Creek Mafia, The Unknown, and Virgil Bowman. If I missed anyone, please say now.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you, Batman. He gifted 5.
Oh my God.
I know. This is phenomenal. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
We're going to be rich.
I'm going shopping. Get your jacket, Marge. We're going to the mall. No.
Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's amazing. I just bit the bullet and got a video camera for an upcoming investigations. And I was just like, well, it's an investment in the channel. Oh, thank you, Android.
Oh my God.
Let's make this a record. We're in uncharted territory for a while now here, so thank you so much.
Legitimately uncharted territory, yes.
But it was, Artemis got a membership. Artemis, you're now a member.
Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. But yeah, I bought a video camera because I have the night vision binoculars from years ago, but that doesn't record. So I was like, no, I need a video camera because I've got some ghost investigations coming up and I need to get some night shots. That's important. It's a big part of it. So I was like, And I was looking at the price tag of that. I'm like, it's an investment in the show. It's an investment in the show. So I'm like, boom, I just did it. And you know, it was something I was going to do anyway, but it's just so interesting now to do the very next show. This is just last night. I made the order. And to do this night, it's just like, it's raining in here, and I'm just blown away. You guys are incredible. So my son just let me know our team won. One more to go. Go Denver.
Hey.
I'm not sure what sport we're even talking about, but go Denver. Good job. Happy.
I'm going to take a shot in the wind and say it's soccer.
Soccer? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to
basketball. Damn it.
Soccer. I mean, you know, soccer is bigger around the world, but
exactly.
You know, we don't usually see a lot of chatter about national teams in soccer. Let me see. I want to close this because I don't need that open. We got to get to some other paranormal stuff, so we're going to go to some glitches in the Matrix. And Sheldon, let me know. We have the best family chat group here. There's no question. This community that you guys have made, I can take no credit for it other than I turn on the lights and do a show. But you guys have created this family here, and I'm so honored. And I realize many people say that, and I'm sure they're sincere as well. But I couldn't be more sincere. I'm just totally so thrilled every time I do a show to see all you guys come in and want to be a part of it. That to me is just the most amazing thing.
Oh my God, bad boy.
Wow, thank you. Awesome show again, guys. Well, you know, you're just lighting it up, brother. That's all I can say is thank you. I'm humbled by all of you.
Very humbled.
I'm humbled by all of you. Thank you so much for all your kindness and love and support. So, but it's just amazing because as I was saying, I just took the bite. I'm like, no, I got to do this because I looking towards the future of the shows and wanting to do the best that I can to put the best stuff out there that I'm able to, it's just something I had to do. But it was like, it's kind of a nail biter because I'm not a well-to-do person. I'd love to say that I'm wildly successful, but it's just not the case. Not yet.
Boy.
Dude, what the hell? Wow. No worries, Birdie. Again, I appreciate those of you that can. Thank you so much. But, I guess the beauty is that, in buying those, it benefits so many people as well. So it's really, really cool. I've never had anybody buy memberships before, but just to see how all these green names are just all over the place. Like, wow, this is incredible. So thank you guys so much. And it brings everybody into the fold. So I'm just blown away, but I'm sorry to keep going on. I know this is a paranormal show, but you got me in a whole different zone here, guys. You guys have shocked me all out of my rhythm because in a really good way, because there's a lot of things.
Are we technically sponsored now by Bad Boy?
Sponsored by Bad Boy, Batman, Android, and everybody. The whole channels. You guys have all sponsored us. You're like our foster caretakers. Thank you. You're loved by us all, Brent. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's very sweet. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, stop it some more. Really. All right, so let's get to some paranormal stuff so I can do my best to entertain you. I'm almost speechless. I swear to God. This never happened in the history of the show. This much. We've certainly been gifted by incredibly generous people many times throughout the history of the show, but all together in one show is just like, whoa. I'm just beside myself. All right, I'm gonna try to focus here. Okay, put my game face on. So we're gonna go to an article. Yeah, Mom's giving me a play-by-play. Yeah. So yeah, I saw that, Mom. Thank you. We're going to go to an article we've been covering for several shows, and it has to do with a eerie glitch in the Matrix moments. And this is, again, by Money Awaits. You know the drill. It's not a paranormal site, but they did a paranormal article based around these Reddit comments that they scraped or farmed or whatever. So we're going to cover that. And we're on number 31, and this one's 3 Days Grace, or 3 Days Chase, rather. Isn't 3 Days Grace a band?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. All right, this happened in January 2015 when I was 3 months pregnant with our first son. My husband woke me extremely excited, manic, you could say. He yelled, where were you? It was no later than 4 a.m., so I was very disoriented and immediately started an argument, which ended with me really not remembering going to bed the night before. When we talked more about it, I realized 2 days had passed and I had a complete blackout. The last thing I remembered was throwing out leftovers from the food we ordered for dinner. It was about 7 p.m. and my husband went to get his car back from the mechanic. He said I okayed him calling Uber from my phone, and I can't recall that. He told me that when he came back, I was nowhere to be found. My keys, wallet, and phone were there, but I was gone. He immediately went to the only neighbor we used to hang out with at the time, but I wasn't there either. He waited a few more hours and called law enforcement. From what he said, the next 2 days were the worst experience of his life. The hospital kept calling. I'm a nurse. Friends I made plans with called, yet no one had any idea where I was. On the third day, I just appeared in our bed in jammies. The door was locked and my husband didn't even sleep. He was pacing around the house all night. I didn't lose my job and we had no problems with the authorities, but to this day, I can't figure out what could have happened. That's by Ringing Shay. So if that's a real event, and again, I can't know these are real events, but they are allegedly real events. But what the hell? Was that an abduction? I mean, it almost sounds like a doppelganger was in place for a little bit and then just gone, nothing.
Oh, that scares me.
Oh, that would be terrifying. That would be horrible.
Yeah, if it was happening to you, oh my God.
Yeah, that's just incredible. But I guess, just showed up back home in the pajamas. So that's a win, but it's a weird win. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 32, Double Trouble. My husband recently took an overnight job to help us out. He's only been there for about 2 weeks and works evenings and overnights, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Well, last night was no difference, and he left home at around 8:15 p.m. Our 11-year-old daughter and I decided to make it a movie night. At around 11 p.m., I heard keys in the back door and the usual sounds my husband makes when he comes home. I think this is one we've covered before, but I creep out to the kitchen to make sure it was him, and it was. He told me he needed to grab his knee compression sleeve, walks down the hall, says hi to our daughter as he passes the living room, and goes upstairs. Well, he came back down, gave me a kiss, and left again. We finished our movie and went to bed. In the morning, when he got home, I made a joking comment about him forgetting his knee sleeve. He was genuinely confused, as I recalled the previous night. Our daughter confirmed everything I said, and he still was acting confused. I pulled up our security motion camera on my phone to show him when he popped in quick. And that's when I made a disturbing discovery. There was no footage from the night before or any other night of him coming home after he'd already left for work. My daughter and I both heard him, saw him, and I touched him, but he was never home during that time. Nothing else out of the ordinary happened that night. We seriously have no idea what happened. That was by Worthless Commotion. Well, that's creepy. Is that a glitch in the Matrix, like a dimensional glitch? Was there some version of him that popped through?
Oh, that's still terrifying. Even if it's a little more innocent, that's still like, oh my God, like a version of me could just enter and exit. It's just.
Well, it is. It's creepy because you don't know if that was some version of him or was it something else pretending to be him.
Oh, that's worse.
That is
that's
worse.
A lot worse.
Yeah, that's way creepy because, she even kissed it if it wasn't him. And what was she kissing?
Skinwalker?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good take, though, because skinwalkers are known to take over people's lives as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like literally the original person disappears and then the skinwalker. And then there's the walk-ins, which are something different, but a walk-in is more of a possessing spirit, not a demon, but a spirit that will possess somebody to a degree and take over their life. So, yeah, very weird.
I don't know. I lean more towards what Batman said. I lean towards dimensional. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, because you would think if it wasn't really that person, there would be some kind of tell. Something that they noticed that, well, that's weird. He doesn't usually walk that way, or, well, that didn't smell like him, or when I kissed him, it felt weird, or something. Some kind of giveaway if it was something else. What?
Rachel said if someone took over my laundry and vacuuming the well, then. Well, yeah, that's fine then, Rachel. I'm okay with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no kidding. It's just, yeah, exactly. If you can find one of them, that's perfect. Yeah, someone to come mow the yard every once in a while that I don't have to pay. Let's go to the next one. 33, dog gone.
Wait, quick. RJ Windwalker says skinwalkers don't have tells. Is that typically true? Like, there's nothing different from, like, the person they're imitating?
Apparently, they do it pretty seamlessly. If indeed that's true. Again, there's legendary tales, and there's accounts that I've read where people claim that they came face to face with a skinwalker that sounded like them, looked like them, and said they've been waiting for me, kind of thing. But the person was able to get away, and that was the end of it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe They don't either. And if that's the case, that's of course creepy as well. I don't know where these people live. If they're living, and I don't know if skinwalkers are confined to a specific area, like around Navajo reservations or other First Nation reservations, but it sounds like it's a very big phenomena as well. But I think they're just, if it is, they're just very good at what they do, and we don't know. Like, if you see a deer, is that really a deer? Could it be a skinwalker? Is it a wolf? Is it a coyote? Is it,
Oh God,
yeah.
That's terrifying to me too.
Well,
like you see an animal acting weird, you either think, well, rabies, but now it's like rabies or skinwalker.
Makes you almost prefer rabies, huh?
Yeah.
No, I don't pretend to know a lot about skinwalkers because honestly, we don't have a lot of information. I think that the First Nations, of course, do, but they don't really talk openly about it, especially the elders. So there's a lot about them that we just don't know or haven't heard all the stories. But from what I understand, some of the accounts are not even all that negative. They're just more incidental. Like, it's not like they always go out of their way to cause harm. It doesn't seem. But I'm not going to pretend to speak with any kind of authority on that either, because what do I know? I'm just some guy that, I've never had an experience in my own life and don't want one, for the record. But again, I don't know if some of them are more benign and some of them are truly twisted and evil. Maybe it's kind of the same thing as other things. Maybe they're not all twisted, dark, horrible souls. Maybe some of them are just shapeshifters that happen to be, able to do that. I don't know. It's a strange thought. But anyway, let's go to doggone.
All right.
Number 33. Not long ago, I was sitting on the couch as my dog walked by to go sit on her bed, which we have behind the L part of the sectional. She had something small caught in her throat last night, and I think a popcorn shell. So I was paying attention to her breathing just to make sure she got it out. For a few minutes, she was breathing fine, and then what sounded like a light snore started happening. And this is semi-normal for her, depending on what position she's laying in. So I didn't bother to go over and check on her. Well, that went on for about 5 minutes until the most disgusting and, to my now realization, terrifying snore, cough, wheezing sound started to happening. I go over to make sure she's okay, and the exact moment I looked at her bed, the sound stopped mid-breath, and she wasn't there. She was outside with my parents and had been for around 30 minutes.
Oh, God.
There's no way to get out of the room without walking right past me. So I don't know whose freaking dog I saw and what was making that creepy sounding sound 5 feet from me. But I'm going to be staying outside for the rest of the day and hiring an exorcist.
Oh.
That was by Cat 22L or 221. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's creepy as well. I don't know.
Oh, God.
It almost sounds like there's just some prankster out there. You know, some prankster spirits out there just like, hey, watch this. Hold my beer, you know. And they go do something like this just to see the fleshies get all freaked out.
Yeah, you know what? That's what if I'm gonna leave this world, I want to shed nothing dark. I want to shed just a bunch of prankster energy. That's what I want. That's what I want to shed.
Yeah, shed it. Yeah. All right, number 34, 2 steps forward, 1 jump back. So this evening, my partner and I were upstairs sorting laundry when his daughter called us downstairs as dinner was ready. Well, I was heading down the stairs and my partner right behind me, literally 2 steps behind me. He did his usual thing of tickling the back of my neck as we walked. The bottom of our stairs is wooden, so you can hear when somebody steps onto it from the carpeted stairs. When we got to the bottom, my feet hit the floor as usual, and I turned to ask him something, and he wasn't there. He wasn't freaking there. I totally froze for a second and looked at the stairs, and there he was, on the top step, pale and shaking. I asked him what the heck just happened, and he kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. I was behind you, and before I hit the bottom, the next step took me back upstairs. Oh, geez, that'd be horrible.
Oh.
We were very freaked out. I just can't explain it. That was by Potato Pixie 90210.
It's not like
Beverly Hills.
It's not like a glitch in the Matrix. That's like a lag in the Matrix.
Well, that's like a time or a space anomaly, right? Like,
yeah,
he was just like, boom, suddenly he's back on the top of the stairs and going, whoa, what just happened? Wonder if it was an impromptu out-of-body experience where he was able to interact and be there, like manifest, but he didn't know he was out of body. And then his consciousness snapped back.
That could be. That's a good theory.
I don't know. That. I mean, could he have projected somehow and not been aware that he had and just was doing his thing, tickling her neck? She was able to feel it for whatever reason, but then boom, he got snapped back. I that to me makes more sense than to think that there was just a little micro wormhole that sucked him back up the stairs. But
yeah,
I don't know. Wow, that's creepy. We'll read a couple more and then we'll get to some cryptids here. What time we got? Oh,
20-ish minutes.
Yeah, we're good. All right, We'll read one more. Number 35 was this what they mean by hindsight is 20/20? For a bit of context, my eyesight is horrible. Even half a foot in front of my face is nothing but blurry color. Well, yesterday my mom and brother picked me up to go to an appointment. Well, I was running a little late, so I didn't have to go time to put my contacts in or do my makeup and was getting ready on the drive. So while my mom is driving, I was in the passenger seat with the mirror down. I took off my glasses to apply eyeshadow. My brother, who was sitting behind me, asked me a question and I turned to look back at him. When I turned my head back around, I quickly finished my eyeshadow and shut the mirror. I was looking out the window at the farmland just off the road and thinking how beautiful it was. And that's when I suddenly realized that I hadn't put my glasses back on. They were sitting on the dashboard. As soon as I had that realization, my perfect vision went back to being just blurred colors. It was instant, like flipping a switch on my sight. It was so shocking that I actually screamed. My outburst startled my mom and brother, so I told them what just happened. They said they believed me, but couldn't think of a rational reason for it. We tried to figure it out for the rest of the drive, but honestly couldn't. To be honest, if there's some secret to magically fixing my eyesight that I accidentally stumbled upon, then I wish I could find it again. That was by Valkyrie. Valkyrie, but it's spelled RJAE. Okay. That's interesting. So, I mean, of course, there are stories, biblical stories of Jesus restoring the sight of the blind just by, rubbing some spit in mud and then putting it on their eyes. I imagine with them closed, not open. But it does make you think. So, I don't know why it was. I heard an infomercial or something. I was talking about hearing loss, and it's a lot of times hearing loss has very little to do with the actual eardrum and has more to do with something with your brain translating that. So I wonder if the same is true for vision. Like, could there have been some kind of breakdown in their neurological processes that caused the person not to be able to see? But in that moment, it just all lined up right and they were able to see. And could that account for miraculous healings, things like that in some cases, where they were able to stimulate somehow energetically to cause those things to work as they're supposed to. Some kind of realignment, if you will. And it makes you wonder, because if the person really, a lot of time visual problems are having to do with some malformation of the lens or something that's screwing up the vision, or perhaps retinal issues where the light's hitting the back of the eyes, but it's not registering correctly or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's what
mine are shaped like footballs.
What?
My eyes are shaped like footballs.
Oh, really?
I remember that line for years and years, ever since I was a kid, and a doctor said it.
Wow. Is that, I don't know if that's probably bad or what, or not good or what.
That's why I have nearsightedness.
Oh,
because it's not lined up.
Maybe you're part alien gray. Your almond shaped eyes, yeah. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. The rest of the eye's hiding. It's back in there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Well, me too, Sheldon. It's called an astigmatism. Okay. Maggie says that. There were 2 pulses of bright white light that prompted my ex to look out the window, and that's when he saw it. What are you saying, Grumpy Owl? I missed Grumpy Owl, whatever it was that was behind my apartment. It made my ex and I extremely sick, and the next day radiation poisoning symptoms. Oh, geez. That's incredible. Grumpy Owl, you should probably get in touch with me. We got some stories we should be talking about on the podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, very interesting. All right, so that
pale crawler thing, he says.
Oh, pale crawler. Oh, horrible.
Ooh.
Those things
like
freak me out. Sounds like what?
Would that be kind of like a rake?
Yeah. Essentially, rake or ghoul. I think rake and ghoul are kind of interchangeable personally, but
okay, yeah.
Interestingly enough, my theory is that it's a rebranding. Just somebody came up with a new buzzword, and now it's a rake, but it was a ghoul. Now, ghouls were traditionally, and I've shared this on the show before, but ghouls were legendarily sighted around graveyards, like digging up corpses and eating them. But at some point, we started embalming people. And so you got to wonder if that screwed up their food source, because they couldn't just dig up corpses anymore or feast on corpses. So maybe that's why they're kind of all over the place now.
Yeah.
Interesting thought. But anyway, let's get to some stories of cryptids. What do you guys say? Sound
Cryptid
good?
Corner.
It's time for the Cryptid Corner. So let me do this and we'll figure out what we're going to read here. This is a weird one. I don't know if this is really cryptid as much as it is just really disturbing. If you have any little ones, you might want to turn down the sound or put on headphones or whatever. This one, there is some images included, but these are actual captures. I don't know if it's staged or what, but I don't know. There's something very strange. Even when you look at the image, there's something odd going on here. And this is a story that's been doing the rounds. I caught it on the confessionals on Lawn Stricklers, Phantoms and Monsters, and on Sasquatch Chronicles, which is where we're going to read it from tonight, from the Sasquatch Chronicles blog from June 7th, 2 days ago. This is what the story is. And again, there's nothing graphic in these images, but it's probably not appropriate if you have young eyes. So please keep them away for the duration of this story. It says topless women caught munching on a deer carcass in bizarre CCTV footage. Bizarre security camera footage shows two scantily clad women appearing to feast on a deer carcass in the middle of the night. A nurse and nature lover in Canada reportedly captured footage of what she said appeared to be, I don't know how she came to this conclusion, but two witches holding a carcass eating ritual with a camera she set up near her home. I don't know what the heck was up with that, Corina Stanhope, 36 of Powell River, British Columbia, told Kennedy News. It really freaked us out, and it's not something you see every day. Thank God. Let me just put that in there. After coming across a deer carcass in a garden on her property, Stanhope said she set up a camera to surveil any animals that might take interest in the dead deer. Me and my grandpa put up a trail camera to see if we could see animals, and we got a bobcat on camera, which was pretty cool, she said, adding that her 76-year-old grandfather, Bob, was horrified when he checked the footage and saw what appeared to be scantily clad women chomping down on the carcass at night. Ugh, that's just horrid. It says, I came the next day, and Grandpa said he got naked people on the camera, and I said, no, you didn't, BS. So he showed me, she said. Stanhope noted that to the outlet that the apparent carcass eaters emerged about 10 minutes after sunset, looking disheveled and like they were wearing wigs. You really can't tell from the photos, but the hoof was brought right up to her mouth, she said, and I don't know if she was kissing it, smelled it, or eating it, but to touch a decaying carcass like that makes me feel sick. The amount of bacteria that must have been on there. Maybe they were paying their respects, but they were naked, she added. Stanhope noted that she was creeped out because the incident took place just a 2-minute walk from her house and that she'd feared for the safety of her horses. Now, here's a weird one. If you look at this image, what the hell's up with her arm?
Oh, first we have to thank Cannabis Resolution.
What did he do? Oh, what did I say?
$9.99. He says, hi, miracles. I love you, Nivers. Avoid ectoplasm to the face. Avoid getting it in your eyes.
Amen.
Yes.
Good to see you, Naysay. Thank you, brother. So, Sheldon, are you seeing this image on the screen?
I am seeing it, yes.
Oh, that's not her arm. That's the leg. Okay, she's actually pulling the leg up. That's the leg of the deer. I was like, is that her hand? Because it looks like fingers and a thumb there.
Oh, I see.
Okay. I was really concerned. I was like, what the hell's up with her arm? But that's the deer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was concerned about them messing with my horses at night, she said. The horses always get really spooked and unnerved around that area. And I thought they imagined stuff at first. So I didn't think anything about it. Maybe I believe them now. The nurse hopes the incident was simply a prank or that the participants were on some good drugs. She decided against contacting the police after her grandfather noted that nothing technically illegal had happened. Social media erupted after Stanhope posted the photos online, with some claiming it was a prank and others speculating that there was a satanic or other paranormal element at work. That's basically a walking demon from hell, one user wrote. If you hear screaming, stay inside and get a gun. You leave it alone. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's just bizarre. I don't know.
Bizarre. There's nothing technically threatening about it, technically.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's got like a loincloth on or something. That's very strange. I don't know what the deal is. Perhaps... I don't know. I mean, it's just all speculation, but very weird. Very weird. Attention, Portal Mom, care of Paranormal Portal. How are you doing? Oh, that's sweet. Eric, Mom's doing good. Just talked to her before the show, but she's here. Probably kicking back, watching. Maybe she'll respond to you.
Do we have a call?
No, there's no call.
Okay. We had just info that was going to call. Justiful says, I was just trying to call in, but to see we're short on time, I just wanted to thank Bad Boy Channel and say we have the best and kindest chat room ever here. You do a great job.
Oh, thank you. And thank you to you for saying that. I mean, I've never used the applause so much in one night ever. It's just really crazy. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Rachel says, could be a weird marketing campaign for deer jerky. RJ Windwalker says, Brent, there are feral people out there. Yeah, I'm sure there probably are. Oh. And that certainly could be the case. I don't think, I think that they say munching on a deer. Well, there's actually no footage of it or photos of them, grabbing a deer chop and starting to gnaw on it. Just the photo of her pulling the hoof up to her mouth. But you don't eat the hoof anyway. You actually, I do know that some people eat like cow hooves, but it's not the hard part. It's the underneath part that the hoof gets kind of shelled off. And then I don't know, it's kind of a fatty thing, but not fat-y, like real cartilaginous and stuff. So not that
like my belly.
Is your
not fad, but fat. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you're in good company. So anyway, it's a weird story. I don't know what to make of it. It's just kind of a one-off random capture. Did anything illegal happen? No. Oh, Maggie, just wanted to share the love on such an epic night on the portal. Sincerely, thank you, Brent, Sheldon, and Don. Aw. Thank you, Maggie. There's so much giving going on here tonight. Oh, my God.
Thank you so much to every single person who has donated to us and just filling our hearts with so much appreciation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's wonderful. Very wonderful. Let's get to the next article from Sasquatch Chronicles blog on June 8th. This is an upcoming guest that Wes is going to have on the show, but this is their story that they submitted. It's turned and started lumbering toward me. A listener writes, I live in southern Wisconsin. My first encounter took place around 1980, and I was around 11 or 12 at the time. This was in extreme southern Wisconsin, only a few miles from the Illinois border. Must be over by Janesville, maybe. I had been helping out at a small greenhouse up the road from our house and was heading home mid-afternoon. This in, I would say, July. I was riding down the road on my bike, and I saw someone in the soybean field. I thought this was my neighbor out checking his crop and irrigation. I stopped at the end of the field drive and was going to say hi, and as I watched, I realized this was not my 60-plus-year-old neighbor, because whoever it was hopping over the 3-feet-tall bean plants. I kind of froze, totally mesmerized, and this thing was hopping flat-footed from a standstill over these plants and clearing them with ease. It came out on the field road about 60 to 70 yards in front of me, and I realized that I was there. We were just staring at each other for what seemed like forever, and then it started lumbering toward me. I knew it was not my neighbor or even human. It almost seemed as though it was just wandering down to chat. Well, I freaked and got the hell out of there. I've only told a few people over the years and, of course, have taken so much garbage. This is a fairly open area, but there are river bottoms relatively close. I'd say, judging by where the plants came to, that it was around 6.5 to 7 feet tall, maybe around 350 to 400 pounds. Yet it popped over those damn plants like he was on springs. Hair was dark chocolate color, with the skin being dark charcoal color. I couldn't see its face real good, but as strange as this sounds, it kind of reminded me of Mike Tyson. Very thick, broad nose, really thick, heavy brow. Couldn't really see the eyes, but they seemed fairly small and dark. It was covered in hair, except the eyes, nose, and mouth area, and the backs of its hands, but hardly a day goes by that I don't see it in my head. And I constantly question what the hell would it be doing there, doing that. I was talking to my mom a couple of months ago, and she told me that her and my dad watched something huge and very dark darting out of a small thick wood lot across the road, trying to grab the neighbor's calves in the pasture. She said they thought it was odd, but just kind of got tired of watching and went about their business. My second was about 8 years ago near Cornucopia, Wisconsin. I didn't know there was a Cornucopia, Wisconsin. At the furthest north tip. This was in late summer, early fall, and we were walking back in the woods to check out a waterfall. We got a little ways in, and I was hit with the most god-awful, horrendous smell I have ever smelled. I've been around wild fur animals, hunting, and farming my whole life, but this stuff was like a male mink and a skunk got in a fight in a half-rotted gut pile. It was so bad that I was gagging, my nose and throat burned from the strength of it. I turned to my wife and told her to get the hell out of there. She headed out and I stayed to try to keep any focus from whatever this was on me. Once I heard her car door, I backed out most of the way and then turned and ran the last bit of the road. Never saw or heard anything, but that's another thing. There was zero animal or bird sounds at all. It was totally silent. I can't say what this was, but I do know that it took me at 15 to 20 minutes to get that burning out of my nose and throat, and no longer to get the smell and almost a taste out. Wow. So the second account was just that pungent smell, meaning it was probably very close. But,
Yeah.
But the first one, you got to wonder if it's coming at you. How do you know? I mean, you've got to assume, don't you, that this situation is getting dangerous if it's coming to you?
I think as fragile as we humans are versus those things, you have to just assume it, because
I think
there's a point where, it's kind of one of those things where if they want to escape, is never an option. But I think there's especially a point when escape's really not an option, when they're within 10 feet of you.
Sure.
At that point.
Yeah.
There's a point where it's like, you kind of have to make a choice whether you're going to run and it just lets you go, or you stay and wait and see what happens. It's you're putting all the power in their hands, and maybe 9 times out of 10 nothing would happen. Maybe just an innocent encounter, but you don't want to be that 1 out of 10 either.
No, not at all. Because if you're wrong, you're going to be really wrong.
Very
I mean,
wrong.
if you err on the side of, it wants to come say hi, and it's like, well, damn, I can catch that. You gotta.
Yeah.
I think you have to assume, if you're in a situation like that it's just not, it's not safe, because you just don't know. I'd love to believe more than anything that these were, and they seem to be for the most part, for most stories. Could it have caught the person on the bike? Yeah, I believe it could have. I think they can run like mad. They can run probably, at least in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range without probably much problem. Well, you can't ride a bike that long for long, or that fast for long, so if you can get up to 30, you're probably not going to stay there long unless you're a trained bicyclist. But man, that's something else.
It's kind of like I always say, I wish there's always part of me that wishes to have that experience, and there's another part that's like, absolutely not ever is going to happen to me. Nope.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, chances are you're ever going to see one is slim to none anyway. But it's surprising the number of people that do. Oh, bad boy coming back in.
Bad boy.
One more before you get out the door. Love the show, guys. Brent, Sheldon, Don. We all appreciate you guys more than you know. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you.
Your kindness and your generosity, sir, has just been absolutely humbling, and I don't know how to thank you, but it really, really does mean the world. So thank you so much.
This episode's sponsored by Bad Boy Channel. At this point, may as well.
Yeah, I mean, my God, and many others, of course. But how freaking amazing is that? And thank you for gifting those memberships, and Batman, thank you for gifting memberships as well.
Yes.
You guys are amazing. Yep, SoCal Squatcher.
Bad boy.
How many is that tonight? How many?
I think that's 30, 25, 30, something like that.
Wow, dude. I'm stunned. Wow. That's incredible. Well, what do we got left? 4 minutes? 3 minutes? We got 3
2
minutes left.
Yeah, or 3 minutes. Yeah.
3 minutes. Okay, I'll hold the rest for tomorrow then. Wow, dudes, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And again, there's lots of ways to help the show if monetarily isn't possible. I completely understand because, most of us are just trying to make ends meet. But just like the streams, post them, post links on your pages would help me so much. It would be a gift. I couldn't begin to repay all of these kindnesses, but I hope that at the very least we can continue to provide you shows you're going to love and want to be a part of, and certainly that's the angle and the desire. Always moving forward, trying to bring you the best shows we can. So Thank you all so much for tonight and the amazing kindness that you guys have shown us. And thank you always for the love and just continuing to support these shows. I've been at this since 2016. And, this show has grown steadily, very slowly, but steadily through the years. And it's been a labor of love for a long time. But, you guys humble me so many ways with your continued showing up, with how much you participate in the chat, with becoming part of the Discord, following me on social media and all of the different channels, incarnations of us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc. We've got lots of communities, but you guys are incredible. I'm just blown away. Great show. Well, thank you, Just Info. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sheldon, for posting that link. That is the homepage for the Paranormal Portal. I would love if you guys do have Instagram, if you'd follow, if you have Twitter, find it. And all of those links are in the upper right-hand corner of the website that Sheldon just posted 3 links to. If you go over there, click it, follow, subscribe, sub, whatever, that would be great. If you're new to the show, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. Love to have you come back. We do live shows Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. We have a Teespring if you're interested in gear, getting a shirt with Paranormal Portal on it or something. That'd be wonderful.
An ever-growing problem in today's modern media.
Let me close the network quick. The network is talking right over me. All right. Speaking in tongues. But any way you can to support, and it's not all financial. There's just like, subscribe, share. Those are huge for us. So anyway, I guess that's going to wrap up the journey. Anything in closing, Sheldon?
Join the Discord as well. Lots of great discussions. Lots of great links there. That's where we get some of our news stuff just from you guys posting in there.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Join the discussion. Feel free.
Join the Discord. And thank you all so much for being a part of the journey. I'll be back tomorrow night. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be doing more paranormal investigating here on the show. And then, let's see, you're coming into town the 15th, right?
Yeah. Yep, next week.
Next week. So you're coming in on Thursday. I think we'll do a Wednesday show. We'll probably do a live show on Wednesday with Dawn. And then there won't be any live shows actually for a couple weeks, because between next 2 weeks, we got a lot going on here. Next week, a lot going on here. And then I got to run to somewhere else for the following week. So I will post an updated schedule on all the pages so that you know. But it's just a busy couple weeks for the next couple weeks, but we'll be back at it as soon as we can. So until then, just remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Doing some spirit investigating tomorrow night. Again, if you didn't check out last Saturday's show, check it out. I did a short video again called What You Missed. It's on the YouTube page if you want to just catch some highlights. Dude, it was just off. It was off the chain.
It was actually pretty amazing. Yes.
It was. It was incredible. And so we're going to continue that tomorrow night. A large portion of the show is going to be spirits talking. Hopefully someone wants to connect with us, and hopefully it remains real positive and wonderful like last Saturday's show. was really very cool, and it was just wonderful. So watch last Saturday's episode. It was called Voices from Beyond. If you look at the YouTube playlist, but if you want to just catch the highlights, watch the What You Missed video that I put together, and check it out. Love to see you tomorrow night. So come on back. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks, Sheldon, for being here. It was great to have you, buddy.
Of course. And as usual, stay frosty.
Stay frosty. And during the next couple of weeks, I will do some live streams. So if you're not subscribed and ring the bell, please do that, because I'll live stream here and there just to bring you with me on these experiences. None of it is investigative, but, I'll just be running. I'll be kind of all over the map. So I'd love to have you come and hang out with me whenever I can live stream. So make sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you get the notifications when I do go live. And we'll talk to you as much as I can throughout that period. So, all right, guys, love you. We'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful night, and see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, for some investigating. So until then, good night, everybody.
Good night.
I got to redo that whole screen now. I don't even know what we're up to now. Must be like 30 members or 40. I don't know. I need a lot more space.
True.